Hey, this afternoon I was mixing up a little bit of shellac. With my shellac, I don't want it to be mixed any longer than usually about 6 months. After about 6 months, I want to make new shellac. But I know with a lot of people, if you're, thinking about using shellac on some of your pipes, you may not know where to get started. I know there's some shellacs you can get at like Lowe's, Home Depot, things like that, the pre-mixed stuff. I did use that when I first started using shellac on some pipes, but I think a much better option is to actually use shellac flakes. And this is pure shellac. This is food grade. I mean, when you look at like the gloss on like M&Ms or other candies, I mean, that's usually shellac. So this is a completely safe product to use when you buy it in, the pure flake form. This shellac here I got from rawcrafted.com, and you can see how rawcrafted is spelled there. But I have, what I usually use is what's called the super blonde. It has kind of the least color in it. The blonde actually has a very nice golden tone to it. And then I also have what's called the garnet, which has a little kind of a red tone to it. And with these flakes, it's actually very easy to make. All you do is you mix the flakes with, here I have like a gallon of denatured alcohol. And then there's different ratios. Here's one website. It's actually shellac.net. But you can see here, what I went for was right here, a 1.5 pound cut. And here it shows, okay, 8 fluid ounces, 1.5 ounces of flakes. Well, I put mine in a half pint, so that takes 4 fluid ounces. So what I did is 4 fluid ounces, and then instead of 1.5, I then used 0.75 ounce. And you can pick these little, digital scales up on Amazon or your local store dirt cheap. But this way you can make sure that you get, a real precise measurement. Like with a scale like this, what I do is I just take like a little bit of tin foil or something very light. I turn the scale on. You put your container on here, then you put tare. What tare does is that subtracts the weight of your container. Then you put in your shellac flakes, in my case, 0.75 ounce. And then I put that in with the 4 ounces of denatured alcohol. Once you have it in there, this has been in here probably about 4 hours. You let it sit for about 24 hours. What I'll do is every once in a while I'll come and I'll swirl it around a little bit. But really it needs like a good 24 hours to sit. I'll come back probably tomorrow morning and I'll have kind of like a haze at the bottom. What I'll do is once I then shake that up and let it settle, the shellac actually stays mixed, and suspended in the denatured alcohol. So it's not something you need to really stir every time. It stays in a real good kind of mixed solution with the alcohol. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you're to start off with a flake, I would say maybe the super blonde. I use that the most. Super blonde or the blonde. And the nice thing with their shellac flakes is you don't need to filter them or strain them. Some of those you do because they have wax in them. Shellac is from a beetle. It's actually an excretion from a beetle that they get off of like branches where these beetles kind of put this shellac flake. You can find videos on YouTube. But there normally is wax in them. With this shellac flake is they actually take all of the wax out of it. So you don't need to do any filtering. Really, it's just mixing it up, and it's done. Again, you got to wait 24 hours, but it makes a beautiful, really hard shellac. And again, I don't suggest, doing really thick shellac or thick shellac layers. But the method I use is I'll put the shellac on and quickly wipe it off with a cotton cloth, and it locks in your die, fills the pores, and creates a beautiful finish. And if you're looking for that kind of this table with the configurations, it's shellac.net, and they have kind of a table here showing you if you want a 1 pound, 1.5, 2, 2.5, or 3. I would say for pipes, this is my personal opinion, I would say a 1 pound cut or a 1.5. I start out with a 1.5. I may add a little bit of denatured alcohol. I just don't want it too thick where it creates lines when I'm putting the shellac on. But that is it, and some of you may already know this, but other people may not, and I hope this helps.